Hey guys, today I am going to show you how to create a Google Forms to use as a math quiz. Um, and specifically, I want to make sure that you can actually type in math equations, which you can, you just need to have the correct add-on. So we're going to start with that and then we'll quick look at how we can use Google Forms. So I find it easiest to just always do Google add-ons. I search for that, it comes right up. And what you want to search for, I find the easiest way to search for it is math type, but you want this add-on. So EquatIO, Math Made Digital. I can click on it, but I've already added it to Chrome, and you'll see how I can end up using it in Google Forms. I'm going to suggest actually to all my students that they add EquatIO as a Chrome extension as well, because that will allow them when they are actually submitting answers in a Google form to be able to type in equations as well. So that will make, if I have any short answer responses, etc., they can type in equations, which will be super helpful and awesome. So EquatIO, add this extension on. And what that allows you to then do is when you go to your Google homepage, you can click on the little tile that gets you all the Google apps, scroll down to Forms, and I'm going to select blank quiz. There are actually, I think, a bunch of different templates that you can pick from, and I haven't played around with that enough, but I'm just going to go with blank quiz. And I want to show you why I think Google Forms is a great option for math quizzes for us. In settings, when I go to quizzes, once I make something a quiz, I can turn on locked mode, which is awesome because that allows me to make sure that students aren't allowed to open tabs or other applications while using a managed Chromebook. So it forces them into kind of a locked setting. It doesn't deal with all the issues, but it definitely deals with some of the issues. I can choose to allow my students to see their grade immediately after each submission or later after manual review. And you'll notice this says turns on email collection, but I'll show you how you can turn on email collection immediately. And then you can also decide, do I want my students to see which questions they missed? Do I want them to see the correct answers? And do I want them to see the point values? I'm going to deselect correct answers because I don't want them to know which one's correct in case they want to chat with a friend. And currently, I have it set up so that it's automatically collecting email addresses. And I could change that setting if I want to, but I like it just to automatically collect their email, and then I know who they are. I do actually think it's very helpful to always ask students for their name, and I like to do first and last, make sure they tell me both. But you'll notice this little blue tile here on my screen. If you don't have that EquatIO extension added, that will not be showing up for you. So that only shows up for me because I added that EquatIO extension. So now I'm going to add a question, and I'm going to say, solve the following equation. And now, when I click on this, you'll notice I get this menu down at the bottom. So if you know LaTeX, you can type it in LaTeX. But most of us don't, and that's totally okay. We're going to just click on Equation Editor. And for things like 2x plus 7 equals, and I want the fraction 3/2, I just do 3/2. It automatically puts it in for me. But if I have something like I want an inequality symbol and not just the less than or the greater than, and there's some shortcuts that if you know them are great, but say you want those symbols to be showing, I can click more, and I can search, or I can click this fancy little symbols, and I can see that I've got a lot of things, right? So if I want to do a root, I can say 7 the third root of 8. I don't know. I'm making things up, right? But I can put things in using their symbols. And I could probably search derivative. Oh, no search. There's got to be derivatives in there. We've got all sorts of crazy things. And if you need help with finding things like derivatives, I can always help you code that in LaTeX if you need. But say I needed to use angle symbols, etc., and I said inequality earlier, so say I want less than or equal to 13, right? Then I have that option. And actually, I'm going to go with 10. And once I've decided that that's what I want, I can go ahead and click that checkbox, and it's going to make it and insert it in for me automatically. So I have solved the following equation, and I can even decide I want that to be aligned in the center. And so now I can see that. And if I wanted it to make it a multiple choice question, the EquatIO extension shows up here as well. And so I could type in x is, I'll put in the correct answer, less than or equal to 3/2. And so I can see that that fraction ends up being put in, and I've got that, and I guess that inserts it as an image down there, which isn't the best thing in the world, but it could just be like option A, add all, and it's going to give me B, C, and D, and I can put in those equations, and they end up being images, but it's pretty nice and nifty. So hopefully that helps you with creating math quizzes, and if you have any questions, let me know.